Alright, YouTube, it's Shadow King Nazu. I'm going to be doing something a little bit special today. Now, as I said in a previous video, that due to my computer breaking, and the current computer that I'm using is not good enough to both run Swoltori, can barely do that, and record it. I am unable to record a playthrough of me doing the recent Star Wars: The Old Republic storylines, Echoes of Oblivion, and whatever that other one is. I think it has something to do with Mandalorians. Um, so I would like to apologize for that, and I won't be able to do it until I can get a better computer. So, I'll have to get a job not get a job, get more money, or someone will have to give that for me for Christmas or my birthday. But moving along, as an apology, I would like to do a review of the first act of Tales of the Jedi, which does count because it does place in the Old Republic era. And I would like to make a special thank you to LibriDocs for providing me the motion comic of the first act of the Tales of the Jedi storyline. So let's get into it, shall we? Tales of the Jedi takes, like I said, takes place in the Old Republic era, and mostly revolves around Ulic Qel-Droma and his fellow apprentices being tasked with going to Onderon to settle the conflict that's going on there, and convince the people of Onderon to align themselves with the Republic. And this was going to be considered their way of proving that they could be Jedi Knights. And as they go to Onderon, and they see that that is divided between the Beastmasters and the people of Isis. I believe that's what the city is called. They see that these two are still at each other despite being at war for each other for years, and they try to convince the leader of Isis to join the Republic. And they said, "I will only do that if you can stop the Beastmasters and bring back my daughter." And as they continue to go through this, they find out that the Beastmasters aren't the antagonists in this situation. They're actually considered the good guys, because it turns out that the people of Isis were acolytes of the ancient Sith Lord Freedon Nad, which, if you played SWTOR, you would be familiar with the name, as it does get mentioned in the game. The funny thing about SWTOR and Tales of the Jedi is that the Old Republic era stories follow Tales of the Jedi because it's one of the earliest stories in that era, which makes it really good for people who interested in the Old Republic, whether it be through KOTOR, the Revan novel, or Star Wars: The Old Republic, or some other story that takes place during that time. Excuse me. You'll see a lot of connections in there, which really helps ease the reader in. I also do like that that the whole situation isn't cut and dry. There are some twists and turns, but it's also respectful. It's not just subverting expectations just for the sake of subverting it, like The Last Jedi, and being a detriment to the overall story. It actually enhances it and makes the situation more complex. So, Ulic Qel-Droma and his group have to not only try to save the good people of Onderon, but also stop these Sith worshipping people of Onderon. all in all, I do think this is a really good story, as we do have some good characters with Ulikel Drama and his fellow apprentices. They each have their own strengths and weaknesses. Ulikel Drama is an overall good Jedi who tries to make the best of the situation, but he's can be somewhat cocky and sometimes doesn't think things through. But it's balanced out by his other apprentices giving advice to him about the situation. Even though sometimes he won't listen to them, it's still good there. Because one of them suggested that they inform their master about the situation, but Ulick Keldroma doesn't want to inform them because it feels like it will tell the master that they're not ready to handle the situation on their own and they're not ready to become Jedi Knights. So we're already starting to see the seeds of that he does have a bit of an ego. And I mean, and before anybody says anything, I kind of have an idea what happens to Ulick Keldroma because I've heard about the character, so you don't need to explain to me what happens to him. It's also good that we get to explore more of the lore and seeing these ancient Sith, such as Frida Nad and what kind of influence they have. And we also get to see more of more force powers that we don't get to see in the films, such as battle meditation, which is what the Master uses during the fight against the people of Isis. To help the Beast Masters gain the resolve and strength to counter the people of Isis who were using the dark side to fuel themselves. It really shows that that the Master is not only experienced but is also able of thinking outside the box, and does show that he does have some things to teach his apprentices. That they shouldn't just rely on more conventional means of fighting the dark side. And I did like that the romance between the leader of the Beast Masters, and the daughter of the leader of ISIS, who was a zealous follower of Frida Nad. I mean, it adds a bit of a Romeo and Juliet kind of scenario to the situation, which is really, really compelling stuff. All in all, I think this is a really good story. I do recommend it, and I may cover the next arc, which is apparently going to be focused around Nomi Sunrider. Liberdocs already gave the first issues. After her husband died and she's stuck with her child, she has to hide. I mean, run and hide from the Hutts and their bounty hunters, or the mercenaries. I forget which. All the while trying to find a master to teach them the ways of the Jedi, which I think is going to be really interesting. So you guys tell me, did you read Tales of the Jedi? Do you have any thoughts? Do you think it's a great story and a great setup for the Old Republic era? Let me know in the comments below. I'll catch you mortals later.